Hello, my dear students, my dear YouTube followers, my dear friends and visitors of my YouTube page. My name is Ellen and I'm an English teacher from Ukraine. I recommend you to read in English, but reading English and speaking English are completely two different English. With my video, you can make this task easier. I recommend read and listen at the same time. And last time we recorded the book, the story, American Crime Story, Heroine till this line. And now we will continue. Let's restart our listening activity. Better say let's continue our listening activity.
"You haven't finished eating," said Nicky. "I wasn't very hungry," said Lucille. "We could go out to the sandbox now," he suggested. "I want you to see our castle." The sandbox was in the back corner of the house. Lucille sat on the wooden edge of the box and watched while the children built their sandcastle. "I'm the young queen, and I'm a prisoner in the castle," Heloise shouted. "Yes, and I'll rescue her, Lucille," shouted Nicky. When the castle was finished, Nicky put 6 small colored stones just inside. "These are the good soldiers," he said. "They're prisoners in the castle, too." Heloise got more small stones from the garden. She was to be the castle army as well as the queen. As the game continued, Lucille found herself wishing for something really dangerous to happen to Heloise so that she could prove her great courage and loyalty. She would be seriously wounded herself, perhaps with a bullet or a knife, but she would beat off the attacker. Then the Christensens would love her and keep her with them always. Ow! It was Heloise. Nicky had pushed one of her fingers against the edge of the box as they struggled to get the same small stone. Lucille was alarmed at the sight of the blood and was wildly afraid that Lizabeth or Mrs. Christensen might see it. She took Heloise to the bathroom next to the nursery and gently washed the finger. It was only a small scratch, and Heloise soon stopped her tears. "Look, it's only a little scratch," Lucille said, but it was said to calm the children. To Lucille, it was not a little scratch. It was a terrible disaster which she had failed to prevent. And on her first afternoon? Heloise smiled. "Don't punish Nicky. He didn't mean to do it." And she ran from the bathroom and jumped onto her bed. "We have to have our afternoon sleep now," she told Lucille. "Goodbye." "Goodbye," Lucille answered, and tried to smile. She went down to get Nicky, and when they came back up, Mrs. Christensen was at the nursery door. Lucille's face went white. "I don't think it's bad, madam. It's a scratch from the sandbox." "Heloise's finger? Oh, don't worry, my dear. They're always getting little scratches. Nicky, dear, you must learn to be more gentle. Look how you frightened Lucille." She laughed and ruffled his hair. While the children slept, Lucille looked at one of their storybooks. The hospital doctor had encouraged her reading, she remembered, and had told her to go to the cinema, too. "Be with normal people and forget all about your mother's difficulties." And the psychiatrist had said, There's no reason why you should not be as normal as your father was. Get a job outside the city. Relax. Enjoy life. Forget even the house your family lived in after a year. That, too, was 3 weeks ago, just after her mother had died. And what the doctor had said was true. In this house, where there was peace and love, beauty and children, she would forget forever her mother's face. With a little gasp of joy, she pressed her face into the pages of the storybook, her eyes half closed. Slowly, she rocked, backwards and forwards in the chair, conscious of nothing but her own happiness. "What are you doing?" Nicky asked, politely curious. Lucille brought the book down from her face. She smiled like a happy but guilty child. "Reading?" she laughed. Nicky laughed too. "You read very close." "Yes!" said Heloise, who had also sat up. Nicky came over and looked at the book. "We get up at 3 o'clock. Would you read to us now? Catherine always read to us until dinner." Lucille sat down on the floor so they could see the pictures as she read. She read for 2 hours, and the time slipped by. Just after 5, Lizabeth brought their dinner, and when the meal was over, Nicky and Heloise demanded more reading until bedtime. Lucille gladly began another book, but Lizabeth came to say that it was time for the children's bath, and that Mrs. Christensen would be up to say good night in a little while.
Okay, it's all for today. Tomorrow I will continue recording this book, and if you don't follow my channel, please follow it. It's very easy to do. Just press follow button and press the bell near it. This bell will inform you about the new video. Hope you enjoyed this book. See you in the next video. Bye.